Hi, this is Eric Bixa with Advanced Nutrients in our 14th episode of Hydroponic Secrets. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to reveal a really valuable secret for all you growers out there. Basically, where your plants are going to get the most gains in terms of size and overall weight of flowers and fruits, and how you can take advantage of this very important window of opportunity to get the most out of your crop. In early vegetative growth, growers strive to build a healthy root mass. This mass is going to feed the plant water and nutrients throughout the growth phase. As the plants continue to gain stature, so does the root system, but it's very important to establish this early in the beginning. In the mid to later vegetative growth stage, growers focus on the overall structure of the plant. How many branches will be required in a given area to give them the yield they desire. Sometimes growers will prune, bend, or even tie their plants to optimize the growth pattern. Now, in early flowering, from transition to early flowering, growers focus on the structural growth. Basically, you want to have as many internodes, these are going to be flowering sites in the future, per foot of vertical growth, and you want to keep them as tight as you can. So you're kind of building the framework in the transitional to early flowering stage. But where the real gains come in, after the structure has been formed, after the root system to feed this structure has been formed, is in the later stage of flowering. This is where you gain all your mass, this is where all your yield, density, and many important qualities such as aroma, essential oil production, flavors, all these things. It all comes down to this, as they say in baseball. So how do you make the most of this window of opportunity, the later stage of flowering, which we'll say from about week 4 in bloom to harvest in a typical 8-week flowering cycle? Well, we've used bud blood during the first week of flower to help gain that structure that we were talking about. And then we've used big bud to help fill out those sites, to get things filling out and getting the shape and the size of flowers and fruits we want. But now we want to really fill them out. The plant isn't growing vertically anymore, it's growing outward. Everything's just swelling and getting bigger. Now, the product to do this is Overdrive from Advanced Nutrients. It's a very unique product in the marketplace, the first of its kind, and as far as I know, it really hasn't been imitated, or at least not very well. The NPK on it is a 1-3-4. While this is very important, having the extra phosphorus, potassium, and some level of nitrogen as to help the plant not exhaust its total reserves of that element, there's some other key ingredients in there that do exactly what the name says, and that's put the plant into overdrive. Normally at this stage, your plants are getting tired, they're getting weak, life is coming to a close. What Overdrive does is it helps sort of keep the plant youthful and vigorous at this time. So while it may actually increase your flowering time by 3 to 5 days because the plant has more energy to do so, this is where all of your gains are coming in. This is where your weight's going to come in. This is where your quality's going to come in. So make sure to take advantage of this important window of opportunity. The ingredients in Overdrive are going to make the potassium, phosphorus, and nitrate nitrogen more available. While this is very important, they will actually help to improve the plant's own nutrient availability, the chemicals the plant makes itself to feed flowers and fruits as they develop. There's key ingredients in here such as ascorbic acid and fulvic acid and folic acid that do things on a biomolecular level that are really going to help those flowers and fruits to swell at the end. Following Advanced Nutrients' award-winning hydroponics feeding schedule, what you want to do is about 2 weeks before you flush before harvest, you want to discontinue using Big Bud and switch to Overdrive. The first application of Overdrive is going to be a little bit stronger. The following week, the rates are going to come down a little bit. Following that, you're going to be in your flush phase where you're just using Final Phase in water, or you've used Final Phase and then Sensi-Zyme in water for the remaining week to wash out any fertilizer residues that may be left in the growing medium or in the plant itself, and it'll greatly improve the taste and other qualities of your produce. So now that I've offered some insight as to how you can take advantage of this very important window of opportunity in the ripening stage with regards to your nutrients, environmentally there's some things you can do too to help maximize your yield. In the later stages of flowering at ripening, what you should do, if possible, is drop down the overall temperatures. This includes both day and night temperature. So if you're normally running at about 85 degrees during the light cycle, you want to drop it down to about 75. And if normally you're running about 75 at night, you want to drop that down to about 65. You can increase this differential as well. You might do like 60 degrees at night and 75 at the day. But a word of caution, too large a differential will greatly increase your humidity levels in the dark cycle, which will of course require a dehumidifier, which will heat your growing area. So it almost becomes defeating in a way. But this lower temperature will help improve density and flavors and colors. Also reduce your carbon dioxide levels during the light cycle for the ripening phase. If normally you're running at about 1200, reduce these closer to ambient CO2 levels. Say maybe 600 or even 450 parts per million carbon dioxide in the air during the ripening phase. This is because carbon dioxide is an ethylene inhibitor, and ethylene is the hormone the plant is making itself, which happens to be a gas by the way, that induces ripening. So I hope this has helped offer some insights as how you can maximize your yields by taking advantage of the last few weeks of flowering. For other tips and tricks from industry professionals such as myself, please visit the link at the bottom of your screen. That's at www.advancednutrients.com/newsletter. To the email of your choice, you're going to be delivered some excellent tips and tricks that are going to help you get bigger and better yields. This has been Eric Bixa with Advanced Nutrients and our 14th episode of Hydroponic Secrets. Thanks for joining me, and see you here next time.